And we are live. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Welcome to Rice TVX and the latest episode of the Rice Crypto Show. Today, September the 3rd, 2021, you have tuned in for the latest live stream for Crypto Rewind covering the last week in crypto. Myself and co-host Satoshi Sean. And today we are rejoined by Crypto Blood. Last week we had some internet issues and he is back in the studio. We're going to go ahead and get the show started. Make sure you share this video, smash that like button. Going to give everybody time to get situated and get involved in today's live stream.
BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com.
And I always got to give a shout out to the sponsors of Rice TVX. There's information down below in the video description for BitSwap Dex, for Presearch, and for Monarch. I was going to say something and I can't remember what it was, but given time for CB to get back into the studio, and got one more promo ad I'm going to play. Again, make sure you share this video, smash that like button. This is being live streamed. That's what I was going to say. This is being live streamed on both Rice TVX and Rice TVX2. So make sure you subscribe to both channels. Make sure you subscribe to Satoshi Sean's channel as well as Crypto Blood. And we got links down below in the video description for everything. If this just happens to be your first time ever watching any of my videos, I do encourage you to check out and explore my channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my videos as they come out. Also, due to all the recent censorship, make sure you subscribe to my backup channel, Rice TVX2, the sequel. And I've also recently deleted more than half of my videos on my main YouTube channel, which means you can find 100% of my content plus exclusive videos over on Odyssey and Library. If you haven't already, be sure to visit ricetvx.com and sign up for the mailing list so that you never miss an update or new Rice TVX content. You can also find all my social media links as well as merchandise that is coming soon. If you'd like to support the channel directly, consider joining my Patreon, where I have 3 different levels of membership, or if you'd like to send a direct contribution or tip, I have my Cash App information, PayPal, and my CoinTree link for cryptocurrency addresses listed below in the video description. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and get today's show started. Good timing, Mr. CB.
Thank you guys for having me back. I'm here to redeem myself from last week.
Nah, dude, it's all good. You're always welcome. You know that.
Oh, man.
You know that.
So what happened was, I was down in my cigar lounge in the VIP area.
And the FBI came in?
And the FBI came in and raided me and said, "Hey, are you Crypto Blood?" I said,
You know Uncle Cliff High. So.
Right. No, but there were like 2 or 3 professional games going on in downtown.
Oh,
so
wow.
the networks were oversaturated, being overused there. So tried to tether, couldn't work.
Yeah,
man. Tether didn't work, none of it. Yeah, so I'm here though. I'm in the studio now, people. Live and direct.
Awesome. I appreciate, man. So I guess real quick, let's do a quick rewind on each other. So a CB rewind. What happened with you this past week since the failed internet attempt?
Man, all blockchain business. Been trying to hire some engineers, network engineers, to help us in our data center. We're growing, we're expanding. So just a lot of business, man. Really, this week.
That's what's up, man. It's always good to be like working on things that you're going to be helping you out in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful to be able to be in the blockchain industry. Like, you know what I mean? Not on the speculative side so much, but really in the trenches, you know? So it's exciting. So
it's an awesome thing, man. We're in a really good place.
I agree.
What about you, Mr. Satoshi Sean, a crypto or not, Satoshi Sean Rewind?
Exact opposite. Which I've been in the business and tech side a lot in the past couple of years, but I FOMO'd into this questionable platform, we'll call it, and another YouTuber has been bugging me about this. He's like, dude, I'm making all this money. You got to check this out. So I look at it. I did beyond minimal cursory research. I looked. It said it was powered by ApeSwap, partner with Chainlink, which, I looked at their Twitter. Not many people on there, but I was like, oh, it's super brand new. It was paying 17,000%. So I sunk a little bit of money into it. I went and watched the movie. Came back.
Swallow on that one.
Came back watching the movie, and I made like $1,340 or $340. So I was like, "Whoa, this is legit." I took the money off. I sold it. I was like, "Boom!" I went in way too much, man. I mean, like a ridiculous amount. And then next morning, I was like telling people, I was like, "Dude, you gotta check this out. 17,000%." Then it was like 15,000%. And then I woke up next morning. I made, like almost $2,000. So I'm like, this is legit. This is awesome. And then it just started dropping. And the token went from $15 down to like $4 or $3. And I messaged this dude. I'm like, dude, I've lost like thousands of dollars. He goes, what are you talking about, man? Just been paying out. It's like, he said, what did you do with your profits? I said, well, I put them back in. He goes, oh, no, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. No, you got to take it out, put it in stablecoin. I was like, dude. And then I went back to the Twitter, and I looked at the post before, but I actually read the comments. And the comments are like, it's because it's like, we're doing this, and we're doing this, and look at this is great. And then everyone's like, yeah, but you're doing it on Binance Smart Chain, just like you did on Chainlink when you screwed that up after your token went to zero, and now you're doing it again. And I was like, motherfucker.
Oh, wow.
But I've been like checking it every hour, pulling the money out, the rewards, and then selling them. So I'm back in profit now. I just had to make it to Friday. So I didn't lose anything.
Well, that's a good example of we should not trust. We should definitely verify.
Yeah.
So one other thing I forgot, because we were trying to stream on Friday. That Sunday, I went out to Cleveland to see the Jake Paul Willie fight.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Yeah, that was nice. Never been to an actual boxing event.
Well, did they
I'm
pay?
hooked.
Did they pay or just give you tickets, like invite you? Because you were invited by like
Jake Paul and his crew.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Origin Protocol and all of them. Yeah.
Did you get to do any interviews or meet and greets?
Nah, man.
They didn't.
I'm not in the YouTube mode right now. I haven't been in a while. I took my camera Adam Charles.
Yeah.
So he was the one that actually plugged me with
that
coming
makes
out.
sense.
So I met him out there. It was just good catching up with him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So
people.
I was out there with him. I had Charles and Crypto Fiend and his crew meet me for dinner out there. We had a great time, man. Just
That's
kicking
cool.
it, off camera.
That's awesome.
You know how I am, man.
Are you gonna get back in mode though, or like content YouTube creator mode?
Mm-hmm.
Some point. Okay.
Yeah, I do for sure.
I didn't know if he was gonna be phasing out like someone like what's his name? Dude from Data Dash. It's on the tip of my tongue.
He's no longer doing it.
I mean, it's
very huge channel.
Yeah, but he's focusing more on his like building a platform. I think it's called something. It's called something. It definitely has a name. Nicholas Merton. Nicholas Merton is his name.
I'm gonna start a project.
Digifox. Digifox is his thing.
Okay.
So I just noticed it's either you choose to continue doing this and being on camera, or you find a place to settle in a way.
It's hard to do both.
It is, unless you've got a really good team.
Hard to like full time it is, but I think if you move more into business aspect, the YouTube becomes more of a like a hobby or almost like a release.
Right,
Like a
right. So
comfort to go
Sean,
back to.
that's what it's been for me for the whole
Yeah.
time. I've told Rice this all the time. It's really been a release or just like a stress reliever, a hobby for me. I love doing it. It's fun doing these live streams. Meet great people like Rice. It's like yourself. I mean, it's just cool to get into that. But yeah, I don't know. I'll get more active for sure, but it's just the timing. I got to get the timing back right. My cadence is off.
I feel you, man. And I got the email from John Claude about possibly doing something again. So,
Are we talking about mud, flood, or crypto today?
well, I haven't talked about mud flood stuff on the channel. I was trying to find this tweet from Cliff High where he was talking about the Seattle FBI contacting him.
This is
The
late.
Seattle-based FBI. It's a couple days ago, and I retweeted it saying, I should be just looking on my stuff, but between all my McAfee stuff, going to the Capitol on the 6th of January, trying to make sure I'm not flagging some crazy shit, and then doing the interviews like with Cliff High and stuff. Being that when he contacted, it would have been one of the last interviews that he had done. So I want to really encourage people, if they haven't, to check out that interview. It's on my backup channel on Rice TVX2. And dude, I'm gonna tell you, if you haven't listened to it, we pretty much talk about everything that YouTube would censor, and it's skated through. My channel is actually it just got approved for monetization, and it's had over 16,000 views. It's been one of my best performing videos.
Nice.
It's on Odyssey and Library and BitChute as well. So I definitely encourage people to check that out over at Rice TVX2.
Put on your channel here is pretty good, man.
The what?
The clip you put out.
Which one? On Twitter or the one?
The one you put it on your channel.
Yeah, but I put 2 on the main channel, 2 clips.
It was the one about achieving transcendence. It's really
enlightenment. Yeah, enlightenment versus knowledge.
It's actually horrible, because you.
Yeah, he's like, you got to go through hell.
Yeah,
to achieve enlightenment, you go through hell, and then you're aware of all the hell on earth. Yeah, all the horrors of. Yeah, he's deep.
What
man.
McAfee was saying?
No, this was what Cliff was saying. I had him for an hour and 40 minutes, man.
No,
you should definitely check it out. Okay,
that's a Cliff length.
So it's
not a Cliff note when you talk to him. That's
right.
For sure.
And it was a pretty good summary of a lot of stuff that he's been talking about over the past few weeks. So that would be my rewind, is just encouraging people to go and check that out. And I got links down below for Satoshi Sean's channel as well as Crypto Blood's channel. So if you're not subscribed to both, make sure you're subscribed.
Me and Kips did a stream. He was in the Arctic.
Yeah, I was disappointed, man. I thought it was going to be at nighttime and it's going to be like some Aurora stuff. And it was like daytime, just looking at a bunch of snow and ice.
You know how hard it is to like get him to do anything on a schedule. Usually it's like, John, let's do a drunk on crypto. I was like, we don't have a guest, we haven't promoted it. It's like, no, it's like you're just drunk and you want to do a show. It's like, yeah, come on. I'm like, let's do a show in 3 days. Do a drunken crypto. No. And then I'll set it up, and he's like, no, I'm not feeling it.
Oh, I did want to remind people too, which I'll talk about in this first article, that on my Patreon channel, I have my early access to my unedited interview with Aggro Light Hacker from Splinterlands. Because I guess to start off the news, because I got to be kind of tight on time as far as like knocking off about 8 o'clock ish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first article is this article for how Axie Infinity is offering a blockchain-backed living wage. And then it kind of coincides and ties in with this article, which is if I can get all this crap away. Play to earn NFT game Splinterland records 100,000 daily players. When I was interviewing Aggie, the co-founder or the founder of Splinterlands, they have literally been like every 3 weeks doubling their numbers. They've got NFT land now. They have a governance token that they just launched that's being airdropped. They have an in-game currency token, and it's multi-blockchain, meaning that there's different things for different stuff. So it's not all like on one specific blockchain. So there's some things that are on, like I think the governance token, Splinter Shards was launched on PancakeSwap, so it has Binance Smart Chain capability. Then there's the NFTs, I believe, were waxed.
Right?
Yeah. So, and if you were holding any of these different, anything different, depending on what you have, you're going to be airdropped their governance coin over the next year, which is pretty cool. So, and the idea, man, that people are able to make a living playing games. No,
well, that's not new, right?
No, it's not new, but it's becoming a bigger thing, and it's great now. I mean, obviously, this doesn't work for like some place like the United States.
It is new. It is new because that's like saying in the '90s computers weren't new.
Well, people have been making money playing games, like
but not the masses like it is now. This is literally like for like anyone can make money.
The Philippines is getting crazy. Apparently, like teenagers and young adults are making more than their working parents.
Yeah, I mean, you got for years you've had e-games. You had the whole e-games. I know a guy who bought an esports team a few years ago. That's been big for a few years now.
Yeah.
But
so it's just correlating it to blockchain.
That's a huge like sector, and it was a niche, and it's become a lot more mainstream. But the stuff that's going on now, it's just like a wildfire going across.
1 million daily players in August.
Yeah, I interviewed the founder of ECTA, and he was talking about they're based in Bali, and the average income for the average citizen is $200 a month. And he said that they started. I think they have a game or two on Axie Infinity, and he was talking about how these just regular citizens are making double or triple their income based on just playing a game for like an hour a day. So they go out and bust their ass for 8 hours a day working a regular job, and now they're able to double their income just from playing a game for an hour.
Oh yeah,
so it's like it's changing people's lives, where they couldn't afford to send their kids to school, or they couldn't have certain comforts that we take for granted. And in a lot of these countries, it's such a huge amount of money. Like crypto was in the beginning. You remember when it was you could do little tasks or airdrops would give you like a couple bucks, and it wasn't a huge amount to like Americans, but it changed the face of, like South America, Africa, Asia. It was such a huge deal for someone to get like $5 or $6, in an airdrop that helped them, make rent. And now it's this new revolution with this pay to game. It's really cool.
Now check this shit out though. So with Splinterlands, and I'm sure other card games will have things like this, but you can actually make money not even playing the game because you can rent your cards out. That's pretty cool. I think that's awesome.
That's inventive.
It's evolving, Decentraland, this whole metaverse, that's the buzzword. People are starting to make money in these metaverses. I think Satoshi Sean, that's kind of the next evolution. That's the new evolution of what we're talking about, these metaverses. It's funny though, because I don't know if you guys remember Second Life. I used to be a very huge supporter of Second Life years ago. This is about maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, my cousin worked at like hardcore. Like that was she would pay bills with that.
Right.
Yeah.
So they kind of, I want to say, trailblazed
You know, there's
That.
something about Second Life. If you look at the people that were involved in it in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always wanted to do like a deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like Craig Wright, Veer, a lot of people were involved in that.
Well, you know why though?
That Linden.
So, yeah, but so like I don't know when you got into crypto, but back in 13 when I got in, that was one of two ways for me to get into Bitcoin. From like a fiat perspective, was through Linden bucks. They had a whole market, a Linden versus Bitcoin market. You could swap back and forth. So I wonder if that I didn't know that Ver and Craig were into the Second Life whole metaverse, but yeah, that was a big way for early adopters of Bitcoin.
I think it was like a big part of the beginning. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That people really don't know about. I really wanted to look into it and kind of learn more.
Do you guys know who was one of the, if not the first, one of the main people to start bringing about in-game currencies back in the 90s?
Brock Pierce.
Yeah. Back before crypto. So he was very forward thinking in those aspects even back then.
Sure was. Yeah.
And then to take that and correlate those tokenomics into crypto and see and forward think that. I mean, very ingenious. Which just kind of surprised me that he hasn't been more involved in the gaming aspects. But I know he invests privately in a lot of things, so he's probably got his hands in a lot of different pots.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But that's kind of one of those cool things that some people do and don't know. I'm sure you can rent out your video cards. I'm not sure about renting out your video cards, but there's lots of ways that you can make money though.
I used to essentially rent out my video cards.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
So allowing somebody to access.
Days.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
I would lease. It was called leaserig.net, I believe. I don't think they're up anymore, but I would I had rigs running and mining various coins, script coins back then, and I would get on there and literally lease my machine out to people. Why they would buy my machine power, it was just weird, but I would make money. I would make more money renting it out to let them mine it than for me to mine it myself. It's,
right.
Did you sell it on eBay or put it on eBay?
Huh?
Did you put that on eBay?
What do you mean?
Because I remember years ago when I was mining, and I would be looking for miners to pick up. There'd be people that would be selling that on eBay. They're like, "Hey, you can rent my miner for 2 days. It's cost this much." And
oh no, this system had it all automated. It was a like SaaS platform. Like you literally you place this code on your rigs and
subscription as a service.
Yep. Okay. And it was all automated, Satoshi Sean. So it was pretty dope.
So when you're playing, like for example, if you're playing Splinterlands to earn money, I mean you're gonna earn their in-game credit just playing games, and they have leagues, they have tournaments. Some of these tournaments are crazy, dude. And some of them are sponsored as well by other companies that are trying to get attention on their products. So this is one for 13,000. This is one for 38,000 for these tournaments. So these are ways that then there's all these smaller ones. I thought there was a higher priced one, but still, I mean, if you think 34,000 to win an NFT tournament, that's pretty nice.
I wish I was a teenager in today.
Well, you don't have to be, because dude, Ken Bozak is the one who taught me how to play this, and it's really easy. Like
I just don't have.
I may be doing some advisory stuff with them. I'm going to be helping them out with some things, but I really like the guy, the aggro light hacker. His real name is Dr. Blair Reich. He was a chemist, and then he started being a professor teaching, and very much freedom oriented, and studies a lot of this stuff in regards to the legal fiction stuff. He's getting ready to move to Puerto Rico because the game is blowing up, and he's getting a lot of offers. They're getting a lot of offers for to buy them out. He owns 40% of the company, and he's thinking in the next month or two.
Splinterlands?
Yeah, he's thinking in the next month or two it'll be valuated at over $1 billion.
Is there
$400 million man
skill token?
What's that?
Is that Crypto Blades the skill token?
Crypto Blades. That's
Yeah.
not really one of the. I'm not very familiar with that game.
With Splinterlands.
What about?
Don't they use skill token for Crypto Blades?
I don't think so. No, it's just this is kind of like a very similar to like a Magic the Gathering kind of thing.
What I mean by that comment, Rice, is that I wish I was a teenager today. Is I don't have the mindset.
Oh right, yeah. Because I mean, when
to
you
play
have
games anymore,
if I could have
I
made,
want to, but
yeah, imagine making money just screwing off, having fun
God.
as a teenager. Yeah, I get what you're saying now. That makes complete sense. But yeah, and it's a game changer, man. I mean, especially with these nations, like it's not like here in the United States, you're not going to get a living wage unless you happen to have like. I mean, of course, there's ways, but it's not going to be something that everybody's going to be able to achieve. So, I mean, but in the Philippines, in these South American countries, in these Asian countries where some people aren't even making more than $1 or $2 U.S. equivalent a day, you know, if they can make $5 playing a game, that's a game changer for a lot of people.
That literally it changes people's lives, man. And
Yeah.
it's not. And it's not something like sending your kids to the sweatshop.
Right, right.
I mean, you could. Hey, did you play your game today, son? Did you play for
That's
a whole
crazy,
hour?
right? That's crazy, man.
It's. I mean,
that's a good thing, though.
It is a good thing because you think about that, and the choices that people have to make that we don't have to worry about, but they have to worry. You know, make a choice about sending their kids to work like in a mine. Or, you know, on the street or something dangerous or, you know, going through trash heaps. And they don't have to make that decision now. That's a huge deal.
Well, now it's funny, you know, if parents can see the capabilities of their children being able to make money, it's like I could see parents forcing their children to play games to get good at the game so they can make more money.
Of course. I'm sure it's already happening.
It'll be the opposite, where instead of like, get off the game and be like, why aren't you playing that game more?
Yeah.
Why are you outside? Why are you enjoying nature? Why are you doing things that real people do? You should be playing that game right now.
You know you got to get that gaming scholarship or you're not going to college. Come on.
Gaming scholarships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world's going to change, dude. So these next ones, if we can, and we may not get through them all, but I'd like to sort of, if possible, to breeze through them as much as possible. I mean, they don't need a whole lot of banter put towards them.
Thought about you with this one.
Well, it's all about Sean for sure because he's in Texas. I'd like to get your opinions of what you know about this, Seanery.
We were talking about this months ago when it passed.
Right.
And I said it's such a huge thing. Dude, there's so much shit.
Passing and going into effect, they're almost two different things.
There's so much shit is going to affect here. You got the abortion thing, which I think it's crazy.
Oh, the heartbeat rule or something?
Yeah, the law itself is amazing.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, the heartbeat rule. The law is amazing for people that like freedom, for libertarians. It's insanely cool because just forget about the abortion issue. But it says here's a law, and the government is not allowed to enforce it or do anything about it. But every citizen, if a woman has an abortion, you can sue her for $10,000. You can sue the doctor for $10,000. Anyone that helps, you can.
I can feel your fingers, blood.
My bad.
No, it's cool. It was just the weirdest thing is that it's like it was like you were doing it on me.
You just a regular citizen can go out and get $30,000-$40,000 if someone breaks the law. Nothing goes to the state. Nothing goes to the police. Nothing goes to the city. There's no incentive for cops to ticket you. There's no incentive for people to get arrested. There's no one going to jail. It's just citizens enforcing the law and getting paid. That to me is crazy amazing. So think about stuff like vandalism and these other smaller crimes that the police won't have to worry about. Literally, you can take the criminal to court and get paid, and nobody goes to jail. It's such a crazy idea.
The antithesis of California.
Huh?
The antithesis of California.
Yeah, and
in
also
Cali, they let you just anything
yeah,
under $900.
Yeah,
You know,
and they said like They said people go in there with calculators, and they watch them. They're just adding.
Oh my, you're lying.
They walk through, and they're just adding stuff up, and they walk out.
Wow.
And they're like, I couldn't have a business in California.
Couldn't have a business in Cali, man.
Well, they're starting.
San
A lot of
Fran,
people
for
are starting to call it California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Canada stand.
Ridiculous, man.
Also, we can carry guns in Texas now with no.
I saw that
concealed
part.
carry permit.
Yeah,
know
so
where I
listen,
saw
yeah,
it.
you can like just go grocery shopping with a shotgun,
Well, you always could do that.
and it's cool. Yeah, but now you can have a holster and a shotgun and go grocery shopping in Texas.
Yeah, well, you
I
could
love it,
before.
man. I might be
Before,
moving
you had
down
to
there,
pay-
Sean.
You had to pay. You had to take the course. You had to pay the fee. you
Hey,
had to
leave the family, and let's get a place down there, and we can like go back and forth to our homes, and then we can have a cool chill spot for the bros.
For
Dude,
sure.
We can have us a little crypto cave in Texas.
That or Arizona, man. I
It's
was
a lot
loving
cheaper.
Arizona.
It's a lot cheaper
Florida's
down here
kind of
than it is up
appealing in a
there,
lot of
dude, I'm
ways.
telling you.
Florida is supremely appealing, especially if you're wanting to network in the
But
crypto
Florida's
space.
expensive. Florida's damn expensive. I've been looking for land for, just an investment.
Well, now
or,
so many people are trying to buy. It might even be that way in like even Texas. Arizona is different because Arizona's a fucking desert.
Arizona's cheap.
I mean, I wouldn't mind like
I was looking at property while I was out there.
with the high desert areas where they actually have snow.
No, I was down in Scottsdale area outside.
Yeah,
Up northern Arizona, they have that, but they have mountains because it's close to, I think, Colorado.
Flagstaff,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is that general area. But yeah, I wouldn't want to live in Phoenix or Scottsdale just because it's fucking unbearable a lot of the time for me.
I loved it.
Well, y'all know how I feel
Dry heat.
about what's
Yeah,
coming.
it is totally different.
It is very different. It is way, way, way better to have dry heat.
Oh, the last thing, Sean, on this, this allows, I guess I see it right here. This allows for the banking, right, in Texas.
Yes, but this is I think.
And
part
is this only for state chartered banks or is this federally regulated banks?
Well, that's the thing that that's what I wanted to talk about. I think this is part of a larger picture. If you look at so many things, and Texas and Florida are the biggest and the loudest. We just say fuck you.
Wyoming's
pretty. They're trying to be,
but they're not. They're not as big. They're not as powerful. And they're not.
Well, it's a shitty location.
And they're not. Well, they're not as influential. They're not as powerful. But Texas and Florida, we've been given the middle finger, and it's on the news all the time. And the federal government.
Shout out to Abbott and
They're not
DeSantis.
supposed to be able to. But there's so much that's going on right now. Like this, we will just ignore the federal government. And I mean, what are they going to do if they try to come at us? They can't win. They can't win militarily. They can't win fiscally. I mean, Florida, maybe, but probably not. And that's another thing. We're supporting each other. Florida sent troops to help with the border here.
They sure did.
We're really at odds with the federal government. But I thought I wanted to touch on this because I think this is all part of a larger thing of how everything's falling apart. We all know that it's coming. But with Afghanistan, the federal government said no more rescues. And the military said, okay, no more rescues. And civilians went in and have been rescuing tens of thousands of people. And
now that you mention that, people can go check out.
It's supported by military on the ground there.
Right,
They're defying the orders of their chain of command.
People can go watch Awaken with JP's channel. It's either the newest video or just the video. It's like 4 minutes long, and I think it has Afghanistan in the title. And he's with a guy who just got back from Afghanistan because, like you just said, there's civilians out there trying to evacuate.
Right, they're former military, and other civilians. But they, a few weeks ago, and it wasn't just that one organization they're supporting. There was other ones that went in to extract people, and the military on the ground defied the orders of the chain of command and assisted with them. And that that one Marine colonel that put that video out that they fired now. I mean, there's so much where so many people are taking a stand against the federal government that it's never been this way before. I don't in my lifetime, I don't ever remember hearing about it being like this. So I think this is part of that. This is just one of those things where states are going to start doing what's best
for the states
business and what's best for its citizens.
Right, that'll be interesting to see how all that plays out. But if Texas goes into some real serious talk about the idea of seceding, then I probably would consider Texas.
Well, that's
as
the
an
thing.
option.
The governor, remember I talked about the governor going on
because they're very friendly with taxes,
and he said the federal government will not infringe on the
taxes.
Second Amendment in Texas or any other state, and Texas will not allow it to be infringed against any other state. That was a huge statement to me. I mean, they called out, you can try and mess with someone else, but we're not going to stand for it.
right?
And I think people are starting to see how things should be, and if their elected servants aren't acting that way, they'll get rid of them. You look at California;
The
they're
blood.
getting rid of the governor, and they're crying about
They
it.
do that they do that all the time though in California. That's like a normal thing to vote somebody in,
It's the second
and then
time in history that they've done it.
no, they do it. They do it every year.
Dude, they did it one time, and it was for Schwarzenegger, and now it's the second time in history.
That's it. It feels like it's every time.
It's twice. It's the second time in history. But dude, Hollywood's up in arms. They're out. I mean, all the huge actors are out
Are
there.
are they in arms with like Hollywood arms or with real arms?
No, Hollywood arms.
Like fake guns?
Yeah, go look at Hellboy. He put out so much hateful shit, dude. Fucking Republicans, fucking red power.
Blood. I need to see you in a cowboy hat. Like a hat that hangs like where the front kind of hangs downward, so it kind of comes down. But yeah, you got to do it, man. Got to get a cowboy, especially if you're going to talk about moving there. Consensus is going to be in Austin next year.
Is it? No NYC, huh?
Moving to
that's what I'm talking about.
Moving to Austin. So I should say
I thought I was taking our company to New York for the NFT NYC.
Yeah, I gotta talk to this cat because I'm supposed to speak, and I'm like, what the hell? Am I gonna even be allowed to do anything? Am I even gonna be allowed to go in a building where it's happening?
I don't know.
And are they gonna take a hard stance on this shit, or are they gonna be like, no, we're playing along? Because if I was them, I would cancel the event and move it.
Man, I wouldn't be able to go in any restaurants. I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure that there's a few places that are trying to buck the system.
Because y'all are black.
Yeah, Rice is black.
Yeah, it's because they had this thing called
just wearing whiteface.
A banana pass. I am
Are you talking about getting the stick, and that's why you can't?
Yeah.
They consider a banana pass. You have to have a banana pass to participate in the New York City activities.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really funny about that, since we're talking about whiteface, that's going to be a big issue, is because now just from news and from what do they call those things, polls and stuff like that, there's a lot of people that aren't getting any sort of waxing, and a lot of the people tend to be in the poorer brackets, and that tends to not be as white, which excludes those groups from going out in public, while all the rich white people are all out in the restaurants doing their thing. I mean, how's that going to go down? I don't know.
That may be a reach, but
that's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna really. When people are gonna, like, when some of these concerts start coming back around and stuff, and then nobody's.
Look, bro, I was in Cleveland. Listen, I was at the the stadium, the where the Cleveland Cavalier, the Quicken Center or whatever. That's where the fight was. Man, there were thousands of people in there, no mask. There were people fighting. It was like 3 fights in the crowd.
About that?
No, just period. And no one was wearing a mask. They didn't ask for any vax info or anything. So it's just interesting. It's kind of hit or miss because
You look
Cleveland
at that, and you
is-
look at like Australia, where it's the polar opposite. The cops are chasing people down and beating the crap out of them on the street because they coughed. It's not a joke. They're killing all of these
And they're
dogs.
encouraging parents to send their children to stadiums and shit.
And if you say you don't want to get it, they are institutionalizing people in mental hospitals
Yeah.
and saying that
Oh
they're
my
insane.
god.
Yeah, I don't know if like because me and Bloods talked about this a lot, where it seems like things that are happening around the world are test beds for stuff that could potentially happen, like the Venezuelan and Zimbabwe economic situations with hyperinflation, how those played out.
I want to talk about I know you got this one up next, but if we can squeeze in, I know we only got about 20 minutes, the El Salvador thing. I want to talk about that.
Okay, hold on one sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the news we looked at this week and stuff that came out was very FUD and very targeted.
Well, the El Salvador stuff, though, I've heard that for quite some time.
I believe those
from the very get-go, the people were not cool with it. So and some of the businesses weren't necessarily cool with it, but they're not forcing people to do it. And they're also talking about launching a stable coin that would be pegged to the US dollar, which then again,
here we go.
But then again, that makes no sense to allow Bitcoin to be a legal currency if the idea is to get away from the US dollar and then peg it to your stable coin. That part I didn't get. Now, they are talking about giving the citizens X amount, maybe like $40 in Bitcoin or something. But
35, yeah.
I mean, like when you see Bitcoin going up so much, and that's
the thing. If you have a wallet and you have Bitcoin and stablecoin, and you see the difference, it's a no-brainer.
You're not gonna want to spend it though. This is what I'm saying. With some of the Bitcoin maximalists that think this is going to be
it's like how many stories do you hear about? Like, I mean, we know about the Bitcoin pizzas, but I know a dude that has a shirt that he paid 2 Bitcoin for.
Yeah, that's me, dude.
So that shirt is worth 100. He basically paid.
When I got into crypto, I was literally, I was rolling dice with Bitcoin.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I just don't see it being adopted as a currency, but as more of a hedge against currencies. If that makes sense.
Right.
Like, that's really the power in Bitcoin is these sovereign nations will end up buying it as a store of wealth, as a hedge against their own dying fiat currencies. I don't know, man.
So this is 67.9% of the 1,281 people surveyed disagreed or strongly disagreed with Bitcoin being a legal tender in their country, with under a third, being 32%, said they agree with the decision.
But in the beginning, all the businesses that I saw that were interviewed, all the interviews, all the polls that I saw then, it was all ultra positive. And
I just think they were trying to put a spin on it. I think it was negative from the get-go, from the business perspective.
The law is, like you said, they're not forced to.
I thought they are forced to have to accept it.
Well, I think they're going to stop using I think they're going to stop using U.S. dollars.
You don't have to put in anything. So if you run like a farmer's market,
right,
and you don't have a cell phone and there's no electricity at your bodega or whatever it is,
right,
you don't have to use it. You don't have to put in the infrastructure. You don't have to put in the wiring. You don't have to do that. So it's there, and you need to accept it if you have the ability to. I thought that was good.
Yeah. I don't see so the one quote in that article, Rice, you see the person saying, one of the protesters saying no to laundering money. Like, that is a little weird. Like, I can't see a normal citizen saying we don't want money that can be laundered.
Well, also, you're coming from a country that's went through a lot of corruption.
Yeah, but there's
that's the easiest way to get people on.
And that makes sense. That makes sense. But there are so many conspiracy theories about the origins and purpose of Bitcoin.
Oh, we're over that, I think.
Right. So no. The stuff that we're familiar with is over with. But then you had that 17th letter movement, and they're all pro Ripple, pro XRP, and anti Bitcoin. They have it the ass backwards. But there's
I've been seeing a resurgence of that in like Twitter. Any when like an average person,
it's like people just don't
something about
understand.
it, and there's always somebody down there. It's the mark of the beast coin.
Open source.
Over. There's always something now, and there hasn't been for a long time.
Open source, and you can audit the code. Like what?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if
you can fork it. Like it doesn't fucking matter. Like you don't get it.
They don't
get it. It's like fork you. Like you can constantly fork it. We can have a people's coin. The government can ban it.
Hey, did you see in that article that they quoted the IMF saying privately created currencies like Bitcoin? Did you see that
in this article?
Yes. Scroll down.
Yeah, so I was thinking it looks more like
privately. Look right there. Privately issued crypto assets like Bitcoin come with substantial risks.
Well, I mean, now in all technicality,
Bitcoin is not privately issued.
Yeah, I mean, it technically was because it wasn't issued in the manner of. I know it was a fair launch, but like even with me interviewing that Bernard von Nothaus, who created the Liberty Dollar, that is that's an alternative private currency.
Yes.
And that I would put Bitcoin in the same category.
It's
not a privacy base, but it was. And if you also think about this too, nobody knows who Satoshi was, so it was privately issued.
No,
it was anonymously issued, not privately issued.
Right. In the context of this quote to me, Rice, it's saying that like a private company, private entity.
Right.
Yeah, I can see where the general
Bitcoin.
Person would totally get what you're saying.
But if you look at the wording and how this is, it seems like they looked at what the boogeyman is to the people of El Salvador
and fed into it.
And they said, "Hey, this is the boogeyman. The boogeyman made this money. This is corruption. This is money laundering. This is going to bring all the drugs
they
back
look like
and everything."
This huge rally, which doesn't really look very huge, but still, they
like
were
I said, all the articles seem to be fuddy and pointed in that direction.
Now, I've heard from people. I've heard from people who, like, I don't know people, but I've heard from people who know people in El Salvador, and they are saying the same thing. The only thing that I'm hearing positive right now is the amount of U.S. companies that think they're going to be banking off getting deals. Everybody and their mother. We just talked to somebody who was on the show in the past month. They're doing the same thing. Everybody and their mothers down there.
There's a Slack room right now with 14 different presidents and prime ministers talking to Brock Pierce, begging him to come. He has a list.
He has a pull, and
he is backed up.
Him getting into politics was a smart game in a lot of ways.
Him going to El Salvador as soon as he did that and talked to them. That's it. South America wants it, and it's so obvious. This is what's scaring the IMF. This is what's scaring
the governments want it, but the people don't, which is a weird thing.
But that's the thing. It's scaring the legacy systems. That's why I think there's so much FUD coming out now.
Yeah, but at the same time, you gotta know. Okay, so an El Salvador and a Cuba doesn't affect their bottom line. A Brazil does.
Yes.
Well, you have to start somewhere, though. So you don't even want the perception of successfully implementing Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that it's El Salvador or any of these other small GDP countries. It doesn't matter. It's if any one of the other countries that are slightly bigger than that one sees their success, it's like a wildfire will catch on, in my opinion.
Texas's GDP and economy is bigger than Brazil. It's the 10th largest by country in the world, and we're moving towards crypto. The writing's on the wall, and they're reading it. And that I keep
hearing that ever since you sent me that link to that Iron Maiden video. I keep hearing references to that.
What?
The writing is on the wall.
It is, dude. It's on the wall. They can see it, and they're getting nervous. I think we're in. And especially, it's all coming right now. There's so much FUD. Bitcoin's about to break the the 51,000 resistance. It's such a crucial time, and like I said, it seems like all the articles.
Well, speaking of that, man,
everything's coming out.
Cryptodamus was close, but like
Close but no cigar, you say,
Right.
eh?
it was like what 8K off from where you were.
Yeah, we got down
Still,
to
I mean,
20.
still,
But you know what?
Going down like it did, like that was complete. Like I was not, and a lot of other people were not anticipating that bear
Right.
hiccup.
Right.
That
Well,
kind of
I'll
threw a
say
wrench
this.
in a lot of, even though you were completely bearish to begin with.
Well, no, I wasn't. It was just that I knew once I thought we were going to blow through 20,000, and we did that. No, I was bullish up to that, but when we saw the pullback, I knew that we would have to test 20. So I'm still sticking to it. Like, I'm not done with saying that we're going to touch 20, even though 28, 20. Then we touched like 27 was close.
Do you think we'll touch 100 before we?
I hope not. That's the thing. I hope we don't, because a correction from 100,000 or 150 down to 20,000 is what type of event would that have to be?
80%, right?
No, I'm saying yes. From 100, that's 80. But
Yeah,
from
but that's
past 100.
Isn't that kind of normal? 80% corrections. I mean, when you look at it, not from like a daily 80% drop or anything to that effect, but in the course of a month or two or three.
Yeah, we'll see. I still think we're going to test the 20.
I'm curious.
When I don't know. So it's not a prediction, because prediction needs a time and a price.
Right.
But I'm just saying, I think fundamentally we'll still have to.
I definitely want to, after I get back, talk with you about like cycles and stuff, because I mean, there's a lot of talk that we could be ending these traditional cycles that we've been having in the
and that's space. Another thing that people have to keep in mind, right?
Because of economics,
right? So the macroeconomic side and influence of Bitcoin, we forget, because look, the stock markets have been going in a straight line up.
We're a block away from the Jenga puzzling, like
right.
Down.
So if we see an economic slowdown, if we see the stock markets move the other way, Bitcoin is going to move the other way with it. It is a risk off asset. So we do have to remember that.
Yeah.
It is not contra to, the overall global economy at this point. Someday, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, I definitely want to get in a conversation with you here soon about some trading and outlook on market and stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to this final article, and just something I thought was really cool. Everybody's always giving Jack Dorsey hell. Always.
Still am.
I'm still kind of like playing the devil's advocate that he does care about Bitcoin and is trying to do good things. I mean, they have a foundation through Cash App where they're paying developers.
Oh, I don't care about him caring.
I mean, there's a
Bitcoin.
lot of things that he's done that's positive.
I care for him.
But he doesn't.
I want him
he
to care about freedom of speech.
I get it, and I think he does. That's why they're talking. Also, there's a lot of talk about him creating a decentralized version of Twitter. He doesn't specifically get to run Twitter the way he wants to run it.
No, you're right.
He's got a board of directors that pushed to get his ass out.
Yep. No, you're right. Absolutely. I mean,
and that's when everything started changing for him, was in 2020, and that's when they were like early 2020. They were pushing to get his ass out of that position.
Yeah. No,
it's like Elon going on. It's like Elon going on vacation and coming back and losing his job at PayPal.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And he's in a I'm managing director of a company, but I can't just go and make a 180 move. I have a board of directors I have to report to. If you did and you had good outcome, you might be rewarded. But if you did and it was negative, the shit's gonna hit the fan. No, he literally, like he literally couldn't though. Like, he can't change Twitter's policy himself because it's voted on by the board. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I like this idea that they're talking about allowing for. The only thing that sucks, I do like the idea of like a tip jar for Bitcoin and Ethereum addresses linked to the profiles. I don't like the idea that obviously we got high fees. So I mean, if Bitcoin is going to run on the Lightning Network, and then is Ethereum going to run on a layer 2 solution, because these fees with Ethereum are just getting redonkulous.
So
But
another conversation.
if they open it up, right? If they open this up for more cryptocurrencies, I mean, in this sense, if you're going to be doing tipping, it would make a lot more sense to be doing something like allowing for things that have $0, like zero transaction fees, like XRP.
No, you did not just say XRP.
Yeah, I just did.
Of all coins.
Yeah, there was another one that I was going to say. Dogecoin and XRP.
Yeah,
Dogecoin is
would be great for it.
Yeah, so same with like Divi.
Micro tipping, it just makes sense. Like,
well, yeah, it's an inflationary token, so that's excellent for spending.
Yeah, you changed my mindset on it being a good use case, good utility. If they could somehow,
you hear Vitalik wants Doge to move to proof of stake, Sean.
I had heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Did you know that Vitalik is on the new revamped Dogecoin Foundation?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I did. Know that. Yeah, that's
we talked about it. Dogecoin Foundation revived after 6 years. Yeah. One of the co-founders, not Jackson, and then one of the core developers, and then there's a representative that works with Elon Musk that's on it.
It's a way for Elon to take over. Just another way for him to take control.
But essentially, you got Elon and Vitalik added to it. And then one of the other people that are on it, which I thought was really cool, is my friend Gary from Decentralized Dance Party. Because, I mean, they're huge proponents of Doge, and they're going to be doing a Doge game, and all their Decentralized Dance Party stuff is like Doge themed out. So I didn't know he was on the foundation, but he was originally on the foundation, and then he got brought back in for the revamped foundation. So
nice.
I just think it's really cool when,
so here's my question to you about this tipping with Twitter. Is it, they're all about censorship, right? So is it actually going to increase the propaganda speak? And
yeah,
really,
I mean, I don't know,
it could be a tool to help promote the fake news.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a way of incentivizing trolls to go after people too. So I mean, yeah, it can. I mean, but just like everything, it has this duality. So I mean, a lot of these things can have negative out purposes for how they could turn out just based off of.
Twitter's just, man, I'm just so disappointed in them, man. You banned you banned Trizump, but
we're gonna see
Taliban still on there.
Obviously it's ass backwards, dude. It's I think it's the end of the days for these kind of platforms. Whether or not the government steps in and does something, or companies come out and basically, the best way to say it is just MySpace them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait till the day we can say Facebook them.
Right.
Or we Twittered them. What happened?
It's coming.
Yeah. So I mean, and when you can have blockchain based protocols being utilized, you got censorship resistance, period. And that's what we need. So I would like to see there's that streaming platform competing with SoundCloud and Spotify, Audius.
Haven't heard of that one.
Check into it.
Okay.
I think they had the audio token. It's Audius with the US. Big musicians are on it, giving a lot more control back to the artists. And
I'm a board member. I'm a board member on. Check out Band Royalty, BAND Royalty. I'm a board member on this company, man. They are doing this, what you're similar to what you're talking about with Audius, but it's more so on the royalty side, allowing you to basically through an NFT. They've already gone through.
I think I just read something about that.
Yeah, they're man. This is band royalty is
It may, I don't know if it's. I'll have to look into the one I've seen. It may not be the same one, but it's the same concept. It may be the same one, but yeah, anything.
So they've already purchased like Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, some Jay-Z songs. They've purchased the actual rights to it.
Okay.
The company has, and then now
really
they.
good joke.
So then they can license.
Yeah, and then they. And then in turn, you can buy their NFTs and their other 3 tokens, but you'll basically collect royalties, a portion of those royalties that they have. They
Fool asked something.
Song.
What if Twitter bans your account and you've got like 10 grand in tips?
Right.
I think it would be just like having a YouTube or Twitter account and having your channels terminated. You're kind of not going to get your money.
That's crazy.
If you violate their terms and conditions, I think they can legally keep your stuff.
YouTube pays you. This is money given by other people, so that would be theft.
Somebody was asking about library and SEC, so I pulled up this website. You could go check out Help Library Save Crypto. I'm going to go ahead and link it, put it in the chat. You can check out my playlist section. I have a playlist for library where I interview the CEO and founder, Jeremy Kaufman. And we actually talk about this. The last interview that we did, we talk about this case because this case could ultimately set some very negative precedents for the crypto industry, especially in the United States. I don't think that they have... I don't think it was an ICO. I think it was a fair launch coin, and they're trying to get them as a security. I'm not 100% sure.
Man, I didn't sell any of my library, and it's crashed a lot since.
They gifted me some. They sent me like a little thank you,
I remember you telling me that,
and gave me a USB, and I ended up liquidating. That when it was, I didn't get out when I wanted to because I think it got up to like close to 40 cents, 30 cents.
Yep.
I think it was around the 26-cent price I started selling off.
Gotcha.
But I was able to upgrade my computer and get a stand-up desk and still have money left over, which was I needed both. I needed to upgrade both. Upgraded my chair and my desk so I can have something better for my back when I'm sitting down, and then when I'm sitting down too long, I can stand up. So it allows me to actually work more without getting up and doing whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know how video editing can be. You need to have a decent computer.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna pull up this band royalty thing, and then I guess we'll start to. Sean, you got anything you want to add to the whole Twitter thing?
Nope.
But
okay. I like that they said that there would be custodial and non-custodial wallets. That was cool.
Do bands make you dance, Sean?
Yes. Dude, you said they have really big artists.
They got Cher on here.
And I said, like Meatloaf. That was you fucked my joke up again.
See, man, yeah, let Sean shine, dude. You gotta let Sean shine.
You said, I'm sorry, my wit is rather quick, so you have to get it right. You have to. You said, oh man, they got a lot of really big, huge artists, and I said, oh, like Meatloaf, because he's very big. Or Lord.
Do.
Yeah.
That would be like getting Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Right. Big pun. No pun
Notorious
intended.
B.I.G.
Yeah, we'll have to get a hologram.
Well, he still have his old stuff on there.
So, yeah, I don't know if this is what it is, but I had to look into this because I like this idea.
They got it all cleared legally. Man,
somebody gave
crazy. Yeah.
Paul McCartney was recording some stuff with Michael Jackson and was talking to Michael Jackson about how he could make money by owning other people's music. And then Michael Jackson went out and bought the Elvis Presley catalog, a lot of the Beatles catalog.
Yeah.
Kind of pissed Paul McCartney off a little bit.
I remember that.
That's a big business. It's a big business because anytime you want to use a song,
that is the business. You know, that is the business of music right there. That is the engine of it, the crux of it.
A song like Queen, We Are the Champion. They make so much money off the royalties of that thing being played in commercials, movies, television shows, sporting events. Yeah. So I mean, and if you got a song being played on a recorded event, then there's royalties involved.
Mm-hmm.
So
mechanical royalties, yeah, it gets.
If it's on a radio, it's getting it. Now I think there's different ways of doing it with like the streaming services. Because I think it's contract based and it's based off percentages and things to that effect. But this is, I mean, anything, dude. This is the one thing that I love about blockchain technology is disrupting the stuff that deals with third party intermediary middlemen that just get a cut for doing nothing but being a fucking gatekeeper. And gatekeepers need to be put in the gate and kept there.
You know it exactly. So,
I appreciate you guys joining today. You got any final thoughts that you want to add, Mr. CB? I'm definitely encouraging people to go to your website, which is cryptoblood.io, and over to CBTV on YouTube, and make sure you're subscribed over there as well.
Yep, definitely. Just most active on Twitter at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, and YouTube. So check me out in those two areas.
Your Twitter link is down below in the profile.
Yep, check me out.
In the description.
Got some upcoming interviews, and definitely get back on the live stream wagon real soon here, guys. And I'll definitely get you, Rice, and have Sean come on as a first-time guest as well. So thanks for having me.
I'd like to hear Sean in on some of those conversations with some of the guys you have on normally too. It'd be fun.
They're crazy. Yeah,
it'd be fun. So. All right, dude. Well, you enjoy your 3-day weekend, and we're talking about maybe going out of town with the fam. So if you do, be safe and enjoy.
Thank you.
And I'll be in touch with you, man. You can bounce out whenever you want.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
Much love.
Take care. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, and there are just two final thoughts for you, Mr. Shawnery.
I think we're in for a fight. I think the fight's coming. As soon as El Salvador happened and the ball's rolling, dude. It seems to me, and I am such a doomsayer, dude, but it seems like everything's falling. Everything's falling apart. Governments, the alliances. There's people in Europe, saying that no one should work with the United States as an ally ever again. That can't be trusted. I got to pull out of everything.
The idea, I think, of nationalism is starting to go away, and there was a dude that I talked to a couple years ago, mad genius. Anyways, he was talking about the idea from a military perspective, from a military industrial complex perspective, they see the end of nations as we know it and having what they call mega cities.
Yeah, you talked about that. And I think we're at that part where it's going to happen.
It makes more sense.
People are worried about this bill and that bill, and I tell them, like, dude, a year from now, it's gonna be a whole different place, dude. 2 years from now, it's gonna be a different fucking thing. You're not gonna be this. This won't even matter. It's gonna be one side or the other. And I think we're on the righteous side. I think we're on the side of freedom.
I hope so. I mean, when enough people take a stand, nothing can stand against the people. Otherwise, like I tell people, just go get 2 books and read them and study them. And that would be 1984 and Brave New World. Because that will be your reality if you don't do something to change things the way they're going now.
Exactly.
I had this argument so many times because I'm a freedom fundamentalist. So the idea of choice is important to me. And if we were to give in for the greater good for banana passes and waxings, then what stops it from going further? You give an inch, they take a foot. There can be no
greater good if what's built is built on.
Right, because there will always be something greater that we need to all band together to do good for. So it will be a continuous, it's just continually giving up more control and giving away power. And it reminds me of that quote from Benjamin Franklin, which is like something like, those who give up their liberty and security or their liberty and right something for security
Those who give up their liberty for
deserve
security
neither.
or safety deserve neither.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean,
you know what I mean? It's
people
like
are,
fucking America. Like what the how did this fucking country get formed? And why are we trying to forget that?
I know. Well,
You know, how is it that, you know, I am
it always
not
starts with a joke. It always starts with a
I'm
joke.
for true capitalism, dude. So this whole idea of going into a communist socialist society is not something that I would rather go live in the fucking woods and start a commune. A commune, not
Remember when we were children and political
community.
correctness started and like trash men called themselves sanitation engineers and it was like housewives were domestic engineers. Everyone was a fucking engineer, but they didn't go to fucking college.
Right.
It's all started with that.
Yeah, and
That
then they
trying to elevate
started
yourself.
giving out fucking participation trophies.
Yeah, it all started with that, and then that non-offense. That this country was started on the ability to offend people. Just don't hurt them.
Right.
No,
Don't cause harm, but you reward those like those who work hard should be rewarded for working hard. And those who don't have the desire to work hard shouldn't be pacified because someone else is and they're jealous.
And they can be offensive as they want. They can worship God that offends you. If they don't want to do certain things that offend you, fine. As long as they don't try to force that on you. That's it, man. The people leave people alone.
Did I smoke again and not mute my mic?
No, I
Okay.
didn't hear it this time.
You didn't hear bubbles?
Uh-uh.
I don't care because I've been running around all day that I had to do it a couple times while during the stream, but I was down in a little corner. Yeah, it's hard for me to figure out what direction to point, but I down in that corner, and I was hiding behind comments.
Okay.
Fucking my head. Yeah. So, anyways, we're not going to be doing the live stream next week. We'll do it again 2 weeks from tonight. Just because I'm going to be on vacation, I'm not sure what my internet's going to be like, and I've got videos loaded up to be released. So that way,
You just gotta push a button.
well, that way, if I want to go live or record something, I can, but I don't have any pressure. I can actually enjoy the vacation for what it is. And I haven't had, I had 2.5 days basically in Miami, and I haven't had, this will be 7 days. If I take out travel time, 5 full days. So I've not done this for quite a long fucking time. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you have a good time.
I'll do my best, man. Again, I encourage people to make sure they're subscribed to your channel if they're not already. Make sure you subscribe here to Rice TVX. Make sure you check out the backup channel, Rice TVX2. On Rice TVX2, I just released an older conversation that was on Patreon with Eric Sullivan from Consent to the Governed about his project called Kool-Aid that I'm working with. And I'm going to be releasing 2 other videos tonight and tomorrow that are not on any other platforms. They'll be on Odyssey and on my backup channel.
I am working on that project too. It is cool that you're doing that.
Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've been since the beginning. Like it's what's been beautiful about helping Eric out with this is one of the things that I find is one of my specialties, kind of in what I do, is networking and connecting the right people. And that's kind of what I've been able to do with Eric in that sense, with advising with the Kool-Aid project, because I've been pretty much now going on actually it's 2 years now that we've known each other, because I think it was this month in 2019 that we went to Philadelphia for Anarchadelphia.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys
Cool
always
arcade.
meet up with me. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
No, I want to come to Texas. I want to talk to you about some stuff.
Yeah.
Stuffs. So anyways, I love you, dude.
Love you too, man. It's good hanging out with you, as always.
I'll be in touch with you, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Yep. Thanks, everyone, for being in the chat and watching. Crush the like button. See you later.
Yeah, we appreciate that stuff. I gotta start taking notes. Today I was discombobulated because of getting ready for this trip and running around all day. But I meant to play this awesome video that you made that's got some really cool porn music to it. Wow, chicka wow wow.